Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're on this world. I'm Double Dragon 912, also known as DJ Unity. And today, I got another top 10 for you guys and girls. Actually, it's a top 20. Today, I want to do my top 20 favorite Capcom games of all time. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I know Capcom sometimes farms out development, but my thing is, if it has Capcom on the logo, it's a Capcom game. That's how I'm doing it. So, y'all say whatever you want down in the comment section. That's how I'm doing this top 20. Now, these are my top 20. You leave your top 20 down in the comment section. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, at number 20 has to be Street Fighter EX plus Alpha. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I was talking about. Capcom farmed this game out to Eureka, A-K-I-R-A. And this was the first time I think Capcom got into the 3D environment. This was tight, man. Me and my homie Quinn and my two brothers, Quinn might well be our brother too, we used to play this all the time back in the day. There was this mode on there where you could do challenge modes. And you had to figure out how to do the combos, and it was just tight, man. Just Street Fighter in 3D. Yeah, Ken, Ryu, Chun-Li, Zangief, your typical Street Fighter cast, but you also had the Eureka characters. You had, I can't remember all their names right now. Cracker Jack, a lot of people know Cracker Jack. But it was a tight 3D fighter, and it was a separate entity. It was different from the Street Fighter actual main lineup, but it was a tight game, man. I love playing this game. The one that came out on PlayStation 1, they added the plus alpha part because they added extra characters in there that wasn't in the arcade version. Because the way they made it, they ported it straight to the PlayStation exclusive to this day, because I think Capcom had it like running straight off of a miniature PlayStation hardware. Don't quote me on that, but man, this game was off the chain, and Capcom first foray into 3D environments, because they said they didn't know how to do it, so they let somebody else do it. And to me, in my opinion, they did a great job on this game. Love this game, still play it to this day. And they made 3 parts to it, but to me, out of all 3 of them, this was probably the best one. Without further ado, let me be quiet. I'm talking too much. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 20 has to be Street Fighter EX plus Alpha. Play. Oh yeah, remember that. Ryu cool. Ryu is cool. I just thought he said Ryu is cool. Now, ladies and gentlemen, coming in at number 19 has to be Project Justice. Wow. I don't know if you guys and girls knew this, but Project Justice is an official sequel to the hit classic Rival School. Now, I didn't play Rival School back in the day, because when that came out, like I said, there was a lot of different other Capcom games that was out. I was too busy playing XMen vs Street Fighter, Marvel Super vs Street Fighter, the Versus games. But I didn't never play Rival School. But I ended up playing Project Justice. Shouts out to my homie Colin. He used to bring that over my house, and we used to play it. It was a 4-player game, and you could tag team on there, and it was pretty tight how the whole system works. And it's mainly schools on there, and then they had this little button that you can press where all 3 of your players that you pick come out at the same time, do a combo move, and pow, 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 pow. And it was easy to pick up, ladies and gentlemen. And we used to play it where, shouts out to King of the Fighters, I think they were the first to have this option. On the Dreamcast version, they made it where you can just have your infinite power bars, just have power bar all build up the whole time. That was pretty tight. I think I first saw that on King of the Fighters, but man, this was a Dreamcast exclusive, still a Dreamcast exclusive. I don't know why they didn't never bring it out to PlayStation 2 or nothing else, but they just kept it on Dreamcast. I wish Capcom would take this out of the dungeon and re-bring this was out, man. That Project Justice are off the chain. countless and countless of memories of being up all night playing Project Justice with me and my friends that used to come over, man. Great game. Love me some Project Justice, ladies and gentlemen. So coming in without further ado has to be at number 19, has to be Project Justice. Moving right along. Moving right along. Fight for your freedom. Escape from the castle. Welcome to the Power Stone world. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, coming in at number 18 has to be Power Stone 2. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, this still to this day is a Dreamcast exclusive. Don't get me wrong, Power Stone 1 was great, but Power Stone 2, I had countless of great memories off of Power Stone 2 because it was a 4-player co-op game, and this to me was the first time I ever seen that type of gameplay. I don't know who did it first. I don't know if it was Power Stone that did that type of gameplay first, Capcom, or was it Smash Brothers? Because Smash Brothers came along and did that similar type of gameplay. But this game was off the chain. One of my favorite characters on there was Wayne Tang. He pretty much was Capcom's unofficial Goku. When he power up, his hair turns gold. When he pretty much does a spear bomb, and he also throws out like key blasts at you. I'm very surprised Capcom didn't get sued by this because he basically a Dragon Ball character. But I liked him. I liked the ninja on there. Then Falcon was pretty cool too. But man, great fun all day. Just good old classic fighting game fun, ladies and gentlemen. Power Stone 2 is where it's at. I mean, you can't go wrong when you have Power Stone 2. I wish I'm tripping. Capcom will bring this out of the dungeon. I wish they'd make it just a collection of like Power Stone 2, Rival Schools, Power Stone 1. Just put it all on the collaboration of games and just bring it out, man. It will make money. Because I know there's not just me, y'all is watching this video. I know y'all some fans of the old Power Stone games. I know there's still fans out there. I think they might have made a Power Stone collection on the PSP. Wow, they need to bring that back out, ladies and gentlemen. I would love for Capcom to bring that out. But without further ado, let me be quiet. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, at number 18 has to be Power Stone 2. Welcome to the Power Stone world.
You are the champion. Keep it up.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're keeping this countdown rolling. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 17 has to be Onimusha. Wow. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Onimusha was real off the chain, ladies and gentlemen. At first, it was a PlayStation exclusive, but I think it eventually they ported the first one onto Xbox. I think they remastered it and called it something. I forgot what it was, but this was a type, man. They mixed. This is pretty much Resident Evil in the samurai days. You know, you fighting demons and instead of being fighting zombies, you just fight demons, and it's back in the old school era. And the whole trilogy, I never did play the last one they made. They made a fourth one called Dawn of Sorrow or something. I forgot the name of it. I have it coming up there, but they made a fourth one. I never got a chance to play that, but the whole trilogy they had of Samanosuke Akechi, then the second one they had Jubei, then the third one they went back with Samanosuke Akechi, and then they went back and forth between the past and the future, and the whole storyline was off the chain. I love Onimusha, ladies and gentlemen. And I think me watching enough videos, I think they was gonna make this into something else at first, but Capcom said no, let's just go with this ideal. And a lot of Capcom's ideas, ladies and gentlemen, was made for something else, but then they found out that, you know, it ended up being a hit. They're like, man, we'll just go with that. But Onimusha, if you have not played, ladies and gentlemen, I think they did remaster it out for PS4. I think PS4, and I might have came out on Xbox. I'm not for sure, but they did remaster this game. I had a physical copy of it. I gave it away to somebody, but I did rebuy the digital copy. I need to buy the physical copy of it again. But I do have all 3 of the old school PS2 games of it, so I still got it. But man, Onimusha is an awesome series. I used to love playing it, and I wish they would make a remaster of all of them. But I'm guessing, I could be wrong, that Onimusha, the remaster they brought out there, probably nobody bought it. That's probably why we probably won't get no remasters, because when Capcom, they'll test the wars. I noticed that stuff. When they bring out a remaster or something and it don't sell, they be like, all right, I guess they don't want that. I did. I bought it day one. I think I pre-ordered off Amazon. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not already, check out Onimusha. You can rebuy it, like I said, on PlayStation. I know it's on PlayStation. I don't know what other system it may be on PS4, modern day console. But coming in, ladies and gentlemen, at number, let me see, make sure I get the number right, because I'll mess up on that. Number 17 has to be Onimusha. Use these buttons again. That was you. Well, y'all multiply. I know that. We don't die. We baby's monsters. We don't die. We multiply. I don't care. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, coming in, ladies and gentlemen, at number 16 has to be Street Fighter 3 New Generation. Wow, I know this is a hot take, ladies and gentlemen. I know y'all probably thought I said Third Strike. No, don't get me wrong, I like Third Strike, but I like New Generation better. Nostalgia reasons. This was the first one I played. I played in arcade when it first came out. And like, shout out to him, Thor's Arcade, I have his thing up there, the symbol of him up there going across there. But he talked about it. He said when Street Fighter 3 came out, Capcom had too many fighting games out there. That's why Street Fighter 3 really didn't catch on, because they had too many fighting games. Capcom was putting out fighting games every few months. Like at the same time you had Street Fighter 3 out, you had what? Street Fighter Alpha, XMen vs Street Fighter, Marvel Super vs Street Fighter, Rival Schools, all that came out at the same time. People didn't know what to buy. Now I like New Generation. It may get a lot of flack these days, but I liked it. The graphics were better, and I like Ken on there. He was right. You get Ken right on the game, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna buy a Street Fighter. That's why I was very hesitant about buying Street Fighter 6. Kind of pissed me off what they did to Ken, but that's another story for another time. But man, Street Fighter 3 New Generation, Gil was the final boss. I've seen better final bosses. You know, Gil, he ain't nothing to write home about. But the arcade graphics was just amazing on that. Y'all know I ain't a graphics head, but New Generation looked amazing. You had, you know, the roster wasn't as big as normal, but you had Ken's student son. You had, I don't think Akuma was on there just yet. You had Elena. Who else? A couple of more characters. Pretty tight game, though. I like New Generation. I like it better than Third Strike. To me, it just was a better game, in my opinion. That's just me. That's a hot take, though. It's okay. I don't mind hot takes. So, ladies and gentlemen, coming in at number 16 has to be Street Fighter 3 New Generation.
win.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we're keeping this party rolling. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, at number 15 has to be Street Fighter Alpha 2. Wow. Now, Street Fighter Alpha 2, ladies and gentlemen, was a great game. I used to love playing this on PlayStation 1. Me and my brothers used to play this one a lot. And my gripe about this, I talked about this in another video, was on Street Fighter Alpha 2, when you got it on the PlayStation version, they gave the Saturn version Eva Ryu, but the PlayStation version, we didn't get Eva Ryu. We got Shin Akuma, and I think maybe one more unlockable character. But I was always mad about that. But anyways, also, ladies and gentlemen, we didn't get, now let me stop saying we, PlayStation didn't get Street Fighter, they didn't get Eva Ryu to Street Fighter Alpha 2 Gold. That's why I like it a little bit better. You can always play Street Fighter Alpha 2 Gold on the Street Fighter Alpha Anthology Collection that was exclusively on the PS2. Anyways, I digress. Alpha 2, ladies and gentlemen, was off the chain. It just pretty much improved on what Alpha 1 was. Alpha 1 is a great fighting game, don't get me wrong. But Alpha 2 just took what Alpha 1 did and made it better. If it wasn't broke, they didn't try to fix it. They added to it. Alpha 1 just made it better. That's all they did. Now, after that, ladies and gentlemen, great game. Ken, Ryu, I think Sakura. That was our first time coming here. Old Sakura. Everybody loves some Sakura. And after Sakura, let's see who else we had. Dan came back, his crazy self. He was a playable character. And, you know, Dawson. I think Dawson was on this one, yeah. And you couldn't play with Cammy unless you played the Alpha 2 Gold. She was unlockable Alpha 2 Gold, but regular Alpha 2, she wasn't on there. But it's a great game, ladies and gentlemen. Street Fighter Alpha. Street Fighter at its finest. You had the first time you had the V trigger, not the V trigger, but the custom combo gauge. It was in there. This when that first came. Well, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, super moves, all that is in Street Fighter Alpha 2, man. Love this game. So coming in, ladies and gentlemen, at number 15 has to be Street Fighter Alpha 2 or 0 in Japan. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, coming in, ladies and gentlemen, at number 14 has to be Street Fighter 2 SNES. Wow, I know y'all like, man, this is gonna be a whole bunch of Street Fighters. No, ladies and gentlemen, I promise, we finna get in some more games. I just like Street Fighter. Street Fighter is Capcom. We think Capcom, we think Street Fighter. But anyway, let's get into this, ladies and gentlemen. Street Fighter 2 on the Super NES was probably the first fighting game I ever played. And me and my brothers, I talked about this on another video, but I'm going to talk about it briefly. I ain't going to talk about it too much. Me and my brothers used to play this so much that we didn't know what we were doing, so we were tapping on the controller so hard that we literally had blisters on our thumbs. We were like, man, what is this? And our dad and them used to tell us, yeah, that's just blisters. Double Dragon, they'll go away. But we didn't care, man. We're just trying to do the Hadouken. Want to fight like Boogie. I know he say talks about Rusaku Puka, but it sounds like he's saying fight like Boogie. We used to say that. Hadouken, fight like Boogie. Oh, you can, just to do all them type of moves. And man, Street Fighter is the staple of fighting games. If it wasn't for Street Fighter 2, don't get me wrong, like I say in the other video, there was more fighting games before Street Fighter 2, but Street Fighter 2 hit that mold. Everybody needs a staple to make their fighting games off of. Street Fighter 2 is it. When you think fighting games, Street Fighter 2 is it. If it wasn't for Street Fighter 2, you wouldn't have Mortal Kombat. You wouldn't have Tekken. You wouldn't have all them other stuff. Basically, they base their premise in some form or fashion off Street Fighter 2. Don't get me wrong. There's better games out there now, but still, Street Fighter 2 is the mold. And the Super NES version was the first one I ever played, so it always will hold a special place in my heart. So, ladies and gentlemen, I ain't gonna talk too much about it. I already talked too much about it already. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, at number 14 has to be Street Fighter 2 SNES version. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we're moving this thing along. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, coming in at number 13 has to be Beautiful Joe 2. Wow. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Beautiful Joe 2, not only is it great, it's a great game. It's pretty much the direct sequel to the first Beautiful Joe. And Beautiful Joe caught me off guard, man. I didn't think this game would be worth anything. But shout out to my homie Mike Spencer. He the one told me about Beautiful Joe. And at first I thought these games were going to be GameCube exclusive, because I was trying to get ready to buy me a GameCube for it. But Capcom wised up and eventually ported them to PlayStation 2. And I was happy about that. Like, yes, I ain't got to buy a GameCube. But I was about to buy a GameCube just for these two games. But Beautiful Joe 2 take place directly after Beautiful Joe 1. And this time you get to play with Joe and his girlfriend Sylvia. I think that I said her name right. And you're pretty much trying to save the world from all the craziness that's going on. And it's just a glorified 3D or 2D beat 'em up. And y'all know I love beat 'em ups. So Beautiful Joe 2, awesome beat 'em up, ladies and gentlemen. The characters on there are crazy. The boss battles you fight on there are crazy. Sylvia got just as much moves as Joe, and you can't say Capcom was being discriminatory to women. They wasn't. They did male and female games. It was pretty tight, and they didn't try to sexualize Sulia either. She just was herself. Just an average cheerleader. Just Joe's girlfriend. It was pretty tight. I enjoyed Beautiful Joe too, but I digress. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, at number 13 has to be Beautiful Joe 2. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, coming in, ladies and gentlemen, at number 12 has to be Beautiful Joe. Wow, the PS2 version now, ladies and gentlemen. But some people tend to leave out. I don't know why they do that, because, I guess these are GameCube fanboys or whatever. But the PS2 version of Beautiful Joe had a secret character in there. They had Dante in there from Devil May Cry. Yeah, he was exclusive to the PlayStation 2 version. A lot of people don't know that, but I'm here to educate you. Double Dragon 912 is here to educate you. You can play as Dante from Devil May Cry on the PS2 version of Beautiful Joe. A lot of folks didn't know that. I guess GameCube folks didn't want to realize that. But anyways, let me get off that little rant. I first played this game, like I was saying on the first one, on the last entry, part 2. My homie Mike Spencer, I went over his house. He was showing me Beautiful Joe. He said, Double Dragon, you would love this game. This is a beat 'em up. I said, yeah, it looks tight. He said, I said, what system is on? He said, GameCube. I said, it ain't coming on PlayStation 2? He said, nah, Double Dragon, GameCube exclusive. I said, dang it, I'm going to either have to just keep coming over your house, or I'm going to have to buy me a GameCube. Darn it. And then right when I said that, I looked on the magazines, because I was following magazines, all that. I said, yeah, Beautiful Joe is coming to the PlayStation 2. I was like, yes! I was too happy, y'all. Like, yes, I ain't got to buy no GameCube, because I ain't really wanted a GameCube. GameCube really didn't have no games I really wanted at the time. Boy, they had Mario Double Dash or something. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for that, but at the time, GameCube didn't have no games I really wanted. But I was happy that they brought it out on PS2, and Beautiful Joe is off the chain, like I was saying on the second one. Great beat 'em up. Joe said, hitchin' and go, baby. And then you had to, pretty much on the first one, you're fighting to save your girlfriend Sulia, because they kidnapped Sulia and you got to save her. But awesome game, and all the bosses was memorable. Hey, what did the dude say? I can't think of what he says all the time, but I used to have it on my tongue. And what the funniest things about the Beautiful Joe, or when you pause the game, they used to say, bathroom break, bathroom. Oh, okay, was it number 1 or number 2? Oh, whoever made Beautiful Joe, they was hilarious. I think that's the guys that eventually went off to go to form their own studio, Platinum Games. I could be wrong on that, but they end up making a great, awesome game. Beautiful Joe was off the chain. I hate they didn't sell as well. I don't think it sold that well. That's why we probably ain't seen another Beautiful Joe. That's another Capcom game that got locked in the vault that they need to bring back out of the vault. They need to remaster the first two, and then make a third one. That'd be tight. I would love to play them games. I love the Beautiful Joe game. It was awesome. But I digress. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, at number 12. Let's make sure I'm right. Yeah, coming in at number 12 has to be Beautiful Joe. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, keeping this countdown rolling. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, at number 11 has to be Resident Evil 5. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Resident Evil 5 was off the chain. A lot of people didn't like Resident Evil 5 because, for one, it was co-op, and two, it wasn't as scary as the other ones. And I love these games because, I didn't like all that scary stuff. I'm not a big horror fan, so when they made Resident Evil action-based, I was like a kid in the candy store. I love that. I love Resident Evil 5 and Resident Evil 6. By the way, Resident Evil 5 and 6 are some of my favorite Resident Evils of all time. But I picked 5 over 6 because that was the first one I played. I beat this game numerous of times. You can play through it with Chris and Shovel. So hot. You play through it with those two, and it's a co-op game. And if you don't play through it with your partner, you can play it online and everything. If you don't play through it with with your partner or whatever, the computer server self, and a lot of folks got mad, because they say the computer AI was so dumb. But I liked it, man. I enjoyed it, and fighting the rescue at the end. I remember me and my second youngest brother, we got to the very end, but when we got there, he had to go to sleep because he had to get up and go to football practice in the morning. But I had to end up beating that by myself. I had to use my controller and his controller just to beat the game because Wesker wasn't no joke. He the last boss over there. That joke was there. Found you! I see you. I mean, that Joker was, Wesker was hell, boy. I tell you, he was HE double hockey stick. I didn't say the word, though, pardon my language, but Wesker was, boy, he would take you through it. Chris and Silver, they went through some, and then, I'm spoiling. I don't want to spoil too much more of it, but they have another DLC on there where you find out what happened, what led up to Resident Evil 5. It's great. It's great. I love Resident Evil 5. What they sound like? Here they go. A bullet! A bullet! I just love the enemies how they used to say that. A bullet! Then that music be playing. Man, Resident Evil 5 was off the chain. Love me some Resident Evil 5. Probably my favorite Resident Evil of all time right there. Don't get me wrong, I like 4, but I like 5 better because of the co-op aspect. That's just me, though. So, ladies and gentlemen, no, my bad. Coming in at number 11 has to be Resident Evil 5.
Freeze! Are you okay?
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we halfway there. Thank you for sticking with me for this long. Still going. We're almost there, ladies and gentlemen. Just hang in there. Thank you for watching. Here we go. Let me be quiet. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, at number 10 has to be Devil May Cry. Wow. Let's rock, baby. My boy Dante in the building. Dante in the building. Y'all better watch him out. Ladies and gentlemen, I love the Devil May Cry series. I even like Devil May Cry 2. I beat it. And my only gripe with Devil May Cry 2 was it was too easy. That's my only gripe with it. But I need to go back and play it. I do have the remastered version. That's what you're watching right now. I'm playing Devil May Cry, the remastered version right now. On you see in the background, that's me playing. Man, but Devil May Cry was a game just. I think it was supposed to be something else too, but Capcom ended up, innovating it into a real life game. And pretty much you play as Dante. Dante half human, half demon, and you're trying to fight the, I think on this was the Demon Mundus or something like that. Yeah, he the last boss, and whole storyline with Devil May Cry just all the chain in. Eventually you play the further ones. You get Dante, then you get Nero, then you get his brother Virgil, who's just Ultimate Marvel's Capcom 3. Oh, he is. Woo! That's all I'm gonna say about that. But man, awesome series. I got Devil May Cry 5 because I picked it up on the PSN sale. I need to play Devil May Cry 5. I really do need to play Devil May Cry 5 so I can finish out the story. Because last one I played was Devil May Cry 4. I just need to play it. But Devil May Cry 1 is the original, and it'll always be a special place in my heart. I remember my youngest brother would say, "Forward blade, switch a blade," and do the stylist, the points. Oh, Devil May Cry, man. Great memories on Devil May Cry. If you haven't played Devil May Cry, ladies and gentlemen, you can definitely pick it up. It's out on modern day consoles. I think they made either PS4 or Xbox Series X, Xbox One. Yeah, you can pick them up. I think they be on sale a lot, so y'all check them out. Check out the Devil May Cry trilogy, and eventually get to part 5. But start out with part 1, ladies and play part 1 and go through with that, because it's worth it, ladies and I played all 3 of them, not all 3 of them, but all 4 of them. I just haven't played the 5th one yet. Love me the Devil May Cry series, but I digress. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 10 has to be Devil May Cry. Ladies and gentlemen, coming in at number 9 has to be Saturday Night Slam Masters. Wow. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Capcom, them some innovators over there. Imagine wrestling, your favorite wrestling, mixed in with Capcom fighting mechanics. Can't go wrong, ladies and gentlemen. The whole intro starts off with basically Hulk Hogan. That's Hulk Hogan. Capcom couldn't say it because they get sued, but that's Hulk Hogan. And you never get to play with Hulk Hogan in the game, but that's a good way to get you to want to buy the game. I first played Saturday Night Slam Masters on the Super NES, ladies and gentlemen. The Super NES version was off the chain. It was basically almost arcade perfect. The only thing, the graphics wasn't as good, and they shrunk down the graphics. But man, I used to play this with my brothers. We used to always do the tag team mode, because if you had a multi-tap at the time, you could do 4-player multi-tap tag team mode. You could do that on that. That was a feature that was on the Super Nintendo version. But the Sega version, they kind of gimped it. They didn't get that tag team version. They took that out of the Sega version. But the Super Nintendo version, to me, was the superior version. I got a chance to play both of them. Super Nintendo version was the superior version. That's the version I had. And I love this game, man. My favorite character was the last boss you could pick on there, Scorpion. He pretty much had that bicycle, I ain't say bicycle, motorcycle helmet on. He was surrounded in mystery. Pretty much he was the last boss on the single player mode. And this game was off the chain. I had a chance to play this game one time in the arcade. I saw it in the arcade over there at a thing called Qzar where I'm from. Anybody that know where I'm from, y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all, if y'all know what I'm talking about, y'all know what I'm talking about. That's all I'm gonna say. But man, it was fun seeing the difference between the arcade version and Super NES version. I'm like, man, this game looks so much better in the arcade. But man, off the chain, my favorite team was Scorpion, and then they had Biff on there. Pretty much was their version of either Ken or Wright. He was from Russia, and then you had Gunlock. Gunlock, he was from America. They pretty much said that he was Gal's brother. Watch Stork's Arcade. He'll tell you more about that whole story. Watch his channel. Please check it out. If you like documentary stuff like I do, you would love his channel. His channel is off the chain. But yeah, man, love me some Saturday Night Slam Masters. This is a game I always go back to and just from time to time just play through and beat it. My two brothers, they like it too. And the music on there was real good. You had, like I said, Scorpion, Rasta. He had at least bring a monkey with him. Growler, Titan. Oh man, the characters on this game was off the chain, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, imagine wrestling mixed in with Capcom fighting game mechanics. Can't go wrong. So, ladies and gentlemen, coming in at number 9 has to be Saturday Night Slam Masters. You see that fire over there going on? Finish. Going with the next match. Let's go. Scorpion teleporting everything. Yeah, he was always my favorite. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, coming in at number 8 has to be Final Fight. Wow. Now, the arcade version, not that garbage Super Nintendo version that they gimped down and took away co-op. That was stupid. But anyways, I ain't finna talk about that right now. I'm gonna save that for another video. Final Fight, ladies and gentlemen, was beat 'em ups at its finest. If you did not know, I'll give you a little history on it. Final Fight was supposed to be Street Fighter 89, but they never did. Capcom wise ups and all this is totally different from a Street Fighter game. We ain't gonna make that. Don't scratch that. And so they made it into his own thing because they didn't want people to be confused and said, oh, just call it Final Fight. And awesome game. Guy, Cody, Hagar, the mayor of Metro City, and he pretty much trying to clean up the streets because they in the Mad Gear game when they kidnapped his daughter Jessica. Cody's basically Cody's girlfriend, and Guy tags along, beat up some punks and get her back, man. Beat 'em ups, they simple to the point, which I like. Awesome, you don't need all that story mode. This is beat 'em ups, y'all. Whoever, I'm not gonna get into that. I could go on a rant on that, but I'm not. Final Fight is beat 'em ups at its finest. That's why it come on number 8 on my list. Love the simple mechanics and just one of the first beat 'em ups of its time. And like I said, competition is always great to have, ladies and gentlemen, because we got Final Fight. Thanks to Final Fight, we end up getting the awesome beat 'em up that is Streets of Rage. We would have never got a Streets of Rage if Capcom hadn't made Final Fight. Streets of Rage is their own thing. Sega wanted to do something to compete against Final Fight, and there you have it. Because of competition, we got Streets of Rage. Thank you, Final Fight, for coming out, because if it wasn't for you, we would not have the awesome beat 'em up that is Streets of Rage. But anyway, we're talking about Final Fight right here. Check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Final Fight is on all modern day consoles. They got the Capcom beat 'em up bundle. That's the easiest way to play it. Just download that or buy that right now on PS4 or Xbox One or whatever, PC. It's out there. Just download that and you can play Final Fight, because it's an awesome beat 'em up, ladies. I think I bought Final Fight trillions of times. I need to see if I can get the not a Super Nintendo copy, like a Sega CD copy, a physical copy of it. But anyways, I digress. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, at number 8 has to be Final Fight. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep this countdown rolling. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 7 has to be Captain Commando. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I love my beat 'em ups. And Captain Commando, I remember I first played it. Yeah, I think it was either at the arcade or I might have first played it on Super Nintendo. But either way, both versions are great. Only difference between the Super Nintendo version and the arcade version is the Super Nintendo version is on a 2-player co-op, and the arcade version I think is 3 or 4-player co-op. Can't remember which one it is. But ladies and gentlemen, Captain Commando takes place. It's in Metro City, but it's deep, deep in the future. I think it's 2,500, something like that. It's deep in the future, and apparently in that future timeline, what is it? Aliens done came to the planet, and Captain Commando and his squad got to stop them, and pretty much beat him up. You got Captain Commando, Mac the Knife, I like him. The Ninja, I used to play with the Ninja all the time, and you got the Baby. He in his own suit, he up there punching and kicking on folk. But basically, great. How many characters? I think 3 or 4 different characters you can play with, and it's just a great beat 'em up, ladies and gentlemen. And if you didn't know, y'all probably already know this, but I'm gonna say it again. Captain Commando they took from this game, and he ended up being in the fighting game series, Marvel's Capcom 1 and Marvel's Capcom 2. And shouts out to the casters doing the mods. They added him into Marvel's Capcom 3 as a mod. It's pretty tight, man. What they doing with the mods, I love it. I'm trying to see if there's a way I can download and play it. I haven't figured out how to download and play it yet, but I would love to do that because I like what they're doing with the modern community. That's why I got into PC gaming, because the modern community is off the chain. Shout out to y'all. But anyways, coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 7 has to be Captain Commando. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, coming in at number 6 has to be Dungeons and Dragons. Wow. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Dungeons and Dragons was an awesome beat 'em up. I remember I first played it at arcade, and ain't even there no more, called Diamond Gems. And I remember seeing the demo version of it, and I remember looking at the elf. I'm like, oh, that elf, she's thick. That's a thick old elf. She was sexy. You know, you young and you're a teenager. Anyway, let me not get into my lust. Forgive me, Lord. I repent for that. But anyways, Dungeons and Dragons, ladies and gentlemen, Capcom takes on an awesome series, Dungeons and Dragons, and made a beat 'em up out of it. You play as the elf, the knight, I think it is, the fighter, and 2 other characters. They made 2 of them. I first played, like I said, at the arcade. Then I played it again not too long ago on the PS3. They had a double bundle that you can buy. It was digital. I still got it on PS3. I need to buy a physical version of it. But it came with both of the games. And it was pretty tight, man. Shout out to my homie Marv, my homie Dave. We both, all 3 of us went through the game and beat it together. It was fun, man. Fun, good old hack and slash. Beat 'em up. You can go into the shops. Got some RPG elements in it too. You go into the shops and buy upgrades and power-ups. And just a great beat 'em up hack and slash. Y'all know I love hack and slashes. So that's why I come in at number 6 on my list, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know where you can get this now. I know you can download it on the PS3. I know folks, ain't everybody got a PS3 to download it. But I don't know if it came out on 360. I think it might have came out on 360. Y'all might want to, if you got a 360, you might want to get that now because the 360 store about to close. I think it closed in June or July. I can't remember when it closed. But ladies and gentlemen, let me stop talking. Coming in at number 6 has to be Dungeons and Dragons, Ministera and Tower of Doom, both of them. All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 5 has to be King of Dragons. Wow. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I used to see this game all the time in the arcade. I played a little bit in the arcade, but I never did beat it. I didn't beat it until I played it on I'm tripping. Super NES, ladies and gentlemen. I beat it. I had some help, but I beat the game. It was pretty fun, ladies and gentlemen. I enjoyed that game. Oh, that had RPG elements in there too. And they had a male elf, a cleric, I think a fighter. It's like 3 or 4 different characters you can pick. I used to always play with the male elf. I like the bow and arrow, and you can eventually keep playing. You power up your weapon and not buy different powers, but you piled up your weapon along the way, and it's just a fun hack and slash, beat 'em up slash kind of RPG elements into it, ladies and gentlemen. It's a long game. It's longer than you think, and then at the end you have to fight a big old dragon, and it's just a fun hack and slash at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. King of Dragons. I think you can get this game digitally on the PSN store. I think on Xbox also. It's called what's the name of that game? I just talked about King of Dragons, and it's in the Capcom beat 'em up bundle. You can definitely get it there. But ladies and gentlemen, this is a great beat 'em up to have. I highly recommend you get it. Like I said, it ain't just beat 'em ups. It's got some RPG elements in there too. I think y'all will enjoy this. So download it when you get a chance, ladies and gentlemen. It's well worth the purchase. I got it when it first came out. But ladies and gentlemen, coming in at number 5 has to be King of Dragons. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we wind this thing down. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 4 has to be Knights of the Round. Wow. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is another hack and slash. I love me some hack and slash beat 'em ups. And this is Capcom's take on the King Arthur story. You play with King Arthur, his knight Lancelot, that was my favorite, and Percival. And pretty much you trying to take, make King Arthur the king. And you go through there, and it's hack and slash. And once again, this one has RPG elements on it too. You can level up. The more you fight and play, the higher your level get. Like each level you get. When I played with Played with Lancelot. Every time you would get to a certain level, he would get armor. Like you start off with no armor, you get to level 4 with Lancelot, then he gets silver armor. And I think you get to level 9 or 10, and he'll get gold plated armor. But Arthur, you get to level 3, he get armor. Then you get to level 6, he get more armor. Like everybody was different. Percival, he got different type of armor too, and your sword got bigger, and everything just got bigger and stronger the more and more you played. That's your RPG elements. And the music on this game was all the same. Y'all know what I'm talking about. My Nice Around fans. And I first beat this on Super Nintendo. I had help again. I ain't beat it by myself, but I did beat it. And it was fun, ladies and gentlemen. Love me some Nice Around. Used to play it all the time. To this day, I still go back and play it. I like the Super Nintendo version better than the arcade version, but only difference between the Super Nintendo version and the arcade version, I think, is 2-player co-op, and the arcade version was 3-player co-op. And I think another difference was on Nights Around, you can actually block on there. I don't know if you can block on the arcade version. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comment section. I know somebody will. I don't mind being corrected. Love y'all guys and girls. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 4 has to be Knights of the Round. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're down to the last 3. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. Yeah, we are down to the last 3, but I'm tripping. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, at number 3 has to be Final Fight 3. Wow. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Final Fight 3 to me was off the chain. They finally got everything right on Final Fight 3. Don't get me wrong, Final Fight 2 was great and Final Fight 1 was great. But Final Fight 3 took what Final Fight 1 did and added to it. If it wasn't broke, it didn't try to fix it. It added to it. Now, what was so tight about Final Fight 3? It came out Super Nintendo. It was Super Nintendo exclusive. And they gave you power balls down there. Every time you kept fighting, you build up your super ball, you could do a super move. Like my boy Guy, he was my favorite character on there. He did like some kind of lightning fist. Every time he did, he had to press a button, the motion to do it. Kind of like Street Fighter, pretty much. And you had Guy, you had Dean on there. He's on there trying to get revenge for the Mad Gear game that killed, I think it's killed somebody of his family. It was messed up how they did it. And then you had Lucille. She was a cop. I think she's on Street Fighter 5. I think it's a DLC character, but they had Lucille on there. She a cop that worked with Mike Hagar. And of course, you know they had Mike Hagar, and he asked a guy to come help him clean up the streets again. And it's off the chain, ladies and gentlemen. This game was the first game I saw where if you didn't have 2-player co-op, you can always do the computer co-op, and the computer will play with you, and they'll be playing with you. So they basically went by yourself. You know, for people that didn't have too many friends. You know, I understand. It feel like that sometimes. You get lonely, but you have a person there with you. You can do it. And also, what was so tight about Final Fight 3, a lot of people didn't know this. It had different paths, a different story in this. Different path. Like on one of these stages, if there's a sign over there, if you throw somebody and break the sign, the bus don't come and pick you up. But if you don't break the sign, a bus will come and pick you up. There was different routes you could take. That was pretty tight. I think the Final Fight kind of got that off Peacekeepers. That's another great beat 'em up. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, coming in, ladies and gentlemen, at number 3 for me has to be Final Fight 3. Moving right along, moving right along. That's a Super Nintendo slowdown. Do my move. Come here. There it is. Ow, that's my move there, y'all. That's my move. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we down to the last 2. Now, ladies and gentlemen, coming in, ladies and gentlemen, at number 2 has to be Alien vs. Predator, the arcade version. Wow. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this game is a crying shame that we never got an official console port of this game. It's ridiculous. The only way you can truly play this game is through emulation. You can play it through emulation. MAME. I think it's on MAME. I done played it plenty of times on MAME. That's why I like it so much. I think they kind of released it on a rare thing that they got. Capcom, some type of fight stick they gave out. It's got a few games on there, and I think Alien vs. Predator is on there. I don't know why Capcom released it on that little expensive peripheral. That thing probably cost about $200-300, and that's the only official way you can play it. But other than that, you better MAME it, because Capcom never officially released, like I said, never officially released the consoles. That's messed up. That's why I know a lot of people get upset about emulation and all that stuff, but that's why we need emulation. Because if it wasn't for emulation in MAME, we would never be able to play Alien vs. Predator. This game would be left in the arcades, and we couldn't play it. Because Capcom, they just leave it there. It's probably some type of licensing issues. But, we just want to play the game. Us gamers just want to play the game. But if y'all can, ladies and gentlemen, please try to play it on emulation. Or if you big time, go buy that little Capcom fight stick I'm telling you about. He got it on there. But anyway, let me get into the game. This game pretty much is aliens come and try to take over the world. And you got Lin Kurosawa. So hot. Then you got the guy on there that's pretty much Arnold Schwarzenegger, just can't say it. Then you got the Predators. They come and help you this time. Instead of hunting you down, they help you to fight the aliens. They say, we need to team up so you can get rid of these aliens. And you got the Hunter Predator, and then there's another Predator. So basically 4 characters you can play with, and it's just arcade beat-em-ups at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. I never will forget when I first played this. I think I played in an arcade way away from where I'm from. We didn't have it where I'm from, so I had to go to an arcade outside of where I'm from, and it was fun, man. And then shouts out to my homie Ben, who hooked me up with MAME emulation, and that's why I was able to really truly go through the game and beat it a couple of times. I love me some Alien vs Predator, ladies and gentlemen. I wish to God that Capcom would just release it, ladies and gentlemen. They just need to release that on the. We should have got that on that Capcom beat 'em up bundle. They should have gave us that, man. I know I would have bought that 10 times over. But that's just me ranting, ladies and gentlemen. But coming in, ladies and gentlemen, at number 2 has to be Alien vs Predator. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, my number 1 favorite Capcom game of all time is X-Men vs Street Fighter. Wow. I know y'all thought there wasn't going to be no more Street Fighter games in this, but I had to put X-Men vs Street Fighter in this. It's still my favorite Capcom game of all time, ladies and gentlemen. Out of all the Versus series I've ever played, this was my first one. Technically, yeah, it is, because Marvel Superheroes and X-Men Children's Island 1 Versus series. But as official Versus series, this was my favorite one, ladies and gentlemen. This was the first time ever you saw the Street Fighters go against X-Men, which, in all fairness and trueness, I think the Street Fighters would die. Because, you know, you got Wolverine, my boy Wolverine, Gambit in the game, Rogue, so hot, and Chun-Li, hot, Cammy, hot. I mean, you got all them in the game versus, you know, I just said some of the X-Men characters. You got Magneto, M. Bison. I mean, just your dream match, ladies and gentlemen. Akuma, of course, Akuma was in here. And you got a dream match of characters fighting up against each other. And you got tag team back again. Checking the vet. Let me stop. Tag team battles, ladies and gentlemen. And one of my favorite super moves of all time is when Ryu and Ken. I used to always play Ryu and Ken. Ryu do the C-Clue or Duke, and then Ken come behind him and do a Duke and add to it and make the fireball like green. It is so tight how they do it, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man, tag teams at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. And then you have Cyclops, where he do his little beam, and then Ryu come in there, Hadouken, all type of different combinations you can do, and just a great game. Even though I had, back in the day growing up, I had the GIMP version, I had the PlayStation 1 version, but I still played it because that's the first time me and my second youngest brother figured out how to do tag teams on there. We didn't have no tips and tricks books at the time. We didn't have no internet. We just figured it out. I said, all right, bro, what if I pick Ken and Ryu, then you pick Ryu and Ken? Let's see what happens. And then when we did that, like, oh man, we can tag out. So we just started playing it like that. We had figured that out on our own. We didn't have no books to do that. And then after that, that's when all the other PlayStation 1 versions of the game, they always had it where you had to pick the same character. I know it was GIMP, but I enjoyed it, ladies and gentlemen. I ended up eventually buying the Saturn version when I eventually got a Saturn. I bought the Saturn version, and, you know, it's in Japanese, but, you know, it's pretty much spot on. Arcade perfect, pretty much the Saturn version is. But, ladies and gentlemen, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, I would tell you where to get it, but it's going to cost you. The PlayStation, I was looking on eBay the other day to try to see if I can get a physical copy of the PlayStation 1 version. So that thing's still like $200-300. And then the Saturn version, even though it's an import, it's still One guy was on there selling it for $45. He offered me $40 for it, but still he got a shipping rate of $20, so it's basically $70. Oh boy, it's retail market, not retail market. It's retro market. It's out of control. Seriously. But I will tell you what, like I said, the only way you mainly, if you just want to play it, try to see if you can emulate it through MAME. I know it's on MAME because shout out to my homie Ben. He hooked me over that emulation that had XMen vs Street Fighter on there. It's a great game, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, Capcom won't take it out of their dungeon so we can all play it. I'm telling you, they will make a ton of money if they made a versus collection. I mean, put all of them on there. Just start off X-Men Children Adder, Marvel Superheroes, X-Men vs Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes vs Street Fighter, Marvel vs Capcom, Marvel vs Capcom 2, Marvel vs Capcom 3, Marvel vs Capcom 3, Ultimate Marvel vs Capcom 3, and last but not least, put it on the redhead stepchild of Marvel vs Capcom Infinite. Make it in parts if you have to, Capcom. Just do, 3 different versions. I'll buy all of them. Just bring them back out of the dungeon, please. Capcom, please. Bring them back out of the dungeon. I ain't studying the licenses. Make it happen. Y'all don't get around that. Talk to somebody. Somebody know how to do that. But anyways, that about wraps up, ladies and gentlemen, for this rendition of my top 20 favorite Capcom games of all time. Leave comments below, ladies and gentlemen, of your top 20 favorite Capcom games of all time. Make it 10, 5. I just want to know. Thank you guys and girls so much for watching. Stay tuned for more great videos like this on the way. Double Dragon 912 signing out. Peace out. And the upset, bro, I got to get rid of her because he's mad. This rim is a joke. Hey, tell you, Kuma crazy, y'all.
Ready. Fight!
Boy, I used to play some Psychop players back in the day, boy. They used to make you want to throw a joystick. This in the arcade. Not joystick. Gee, Spice, yeah. Yeah, just straight up. I'm trying to do this. King got the shit like that. I don't think he got that on him.